everything that's out there so far about Emily and her man Justin and some of the things that Justin's ex has been out here saying. So Emily and Justin filmed up until June of 2025, and unfortunately in July of 2025, a month later, he ended up passing away in jail. So this is his obituary, and it says that he passed away at 35 on Saturday, July 12th, 2025, due to disregarded ongoing mental health issues. So it goes on to say that he earned his diploma. He went on to earn an associate's degree in business. These accomplishments complemented his practical skills in various trades. His life was full of passion and hobbies. They talk more about his hobbies. He liked drawing, hiking, being outdoors. And then it says that he was survived by his grandmother and his grandfather, his sister, nieces and nephews, and some aunts, uncles, and cousins who were like, and this one cousin who was like a brother to him. So he was preceded in death by his parents. So when he passed away, neither one of his parents were here, and I'm sure that had to be really hard for him to not have any of your parents to reach out when you need somebody. I mean, that probably explains why his exes were probably involved in this season from what we've seen in the teaser, because he probably didn't have any other family members to film with. After they pointed out the family that was passed away and the family that was left, they mentioned that Justin had plenty of friends who cared about him, including his best friends Brittany and Elizabeth, and those are the two that are his ex-girlfriends that are going to be featured on this season of Love During Lockup. And it says that there is no funeral services that are going to be held. So they didn't have no funeral or memorial. I guess the two ex-girlfriends just met up at the funeral home with a grandma, and they picked up the ashes and they just like said a final goodbye. And I guess the ex-girlfriend Liz, who has been calling out Emily on social media, she is the one who has his ashes. And there is no mention of his girlfriend Emily in the obituary. And this is a post from his ex-girlfriend who has his ashes a few months after he passed. Or no, this is just a month after he passed. She said, "It's been a month, Justin, and this is how I get to tell you good morning. I miss you, but I'll never judge you for what you did. I'm broken without you. How could I when I also know what it feels like to want to unalive yourself? When I also know how it feels to be trapped and feel like life is worthless. But I wish you had told me or told somebody about how you were suffering. Me especially, you know I understand those problems because I suffer too. About how you felt overwhelmed and trapped. And wish most of all that you had gotten the help you needed. I wish I could have helped you change your mind. I wish I could have listened. And in my lowest days, I wish I had gone with you that day. I need you the most, your phone calls. You were literally my therapist for years. I could have a problem you knew before I even knew. My voice changed." So it goes on to just explain, I need your phone call. I love you. She misses him. And if you go through her post on social media, you would have thought that she was the one dating Justin when he passed, because she has been sharing like so much like memories and just speaking good on him and trying to keep his memory alive as much as possible. I know Emily's been getting a lot of backlash because she hasn't said anything. I'm pretty sure she's probably under NDA where she can't say anything. But after this season, if she's still like silent, then I think that's pretty shitty of her. Like, she better be as loud as Liz is after the season is, trying to keep his memory alive, if she really cares about him like she claims. This is an article talking about what happened when he passed away. It says a superintendent of the state correctional institution at Houtzdale reported that inmate Justin Johnson, 35 years old, was found unresponsive in his cell on July 12th. Prison staff immediately responded and they provided life-saving measures until emergency medical personnel arrived. Johnson was pronounced deceased at 8:04 p.m. He was serving a 5 to 10 year sentence for burglary on a Clearfield County conviction. He has been at the prison since June 14th of 2022. So he's been there for about 3 years. In accordance with state policy, they were notified and they will conduct an investigation and they will report, or they will do an autopsy at the medical examiner's office, which they ended up finding that it was self-done. He self-harmed himself. I don't know exactly what he did to make that happen. This is a post from his other ex, Brittany, who is another best friend of his who will be on this show. And this is just her talking about after she found out the news, just saying she was broken. He always told her that he'd be okay, and he wasn't, and he had so much to look forward to, and he only had a year and a half left to go before he was going to be out of prison. And she's known him for over 20 years, and she said they had childhood memories together, and she's just like lost. You know, everybody, it sounds like, is just left with a whole bunch of unanswered questions after he passed, and it sounds like a lot of them did not see this coming. His ex Liz posted all these phone conversations that she had with him. He was literally calling her every single day, multiple times a day. She said, I miss your calls and our therapy sessions. And this was just days before he passed away while he was still with Emily. So he was very close with the ex. You know, that's just what it's, I think he was probably leading them both on. I don't have the receipt right now. I'll look for it after this video and try to bring in another video. I may have covered it already, but I don't think I have. But there was a post that she posted where there are messages from Justin where he was literally telling Liz, I don't care about her. You know I care about you. And it seemed like he was telling Liz that she comes before Emily. But, you know, if that was really the case, then why was he dating Emily? So that's why I'm like, okay, are you just leading them both on? It makes you wonder, like, why was he even with Emily? Because it sounds like him and his ex were real close and wanted to be with each other from the sounds of everything. And he called her on the 12th, which was the day that he passed away. So this is the ex. After he passed, she's been very respectful of him, only said good things in his memory. But it definitely sounds like they had their issues while he was still alive. It sounds like this was either during filming or right afterwards. She commented on his Facebook and she said, don't let him fool you guys. He only says what people want to hear. He can never be real. And someone said, well, sounds like a scorned woman. And she said, way more than that. He put me on TV. He made me out to be an effing clown. I can expose him. All the messages he's sending me, telling me what to say on this TV show, and then making me to be a crazy ex, and that's far from it. He's crazy and needs help, and hopefully he gets it in there, because he's an effing clown. The fakest dude I've ever encountered. Way more to it. Yeah, so scorned. And you know, every time I've heard of someone trying to like go on a show and make a deal, please just make me sound as good as possible. It always like is supposed to be like a two-way street, and then there always ends up being one person who doesn't follow through, and that sounds like that was the case here. It sounds like she's probably gonna just glaze him and only say good things about him, and it sounds like he said something that got her pissed off, and it sounds like Justin didn't stick to the script like he was supposed to, and I just have a feeling that he's not gonna look the best this season, because she has been apologizing already for him even before this season started, and she's like, oh, I just want to let everyone know, please don't take anything seriously that he does, don't look at him different, you know, that's not the real Justin. I get where she's coming from with that, but I don't think that's going to change anybody's mind if he does do something crazy, because I mean, you can't really apologize for somebody else and what they're doing. And so she ends up posting today, and she said, I don't care how honest she was about her career. That's not my problem here. I don't care about any of that. That is irrelevant. I don't even care what she does for work. That's not my problem here. Her body, her choices. My problem is how she treated Justin, and I'm sure as this season goes on, you'll see how she treated him and the way she talks to him. My problem is he sent her an unaliving letter 2 weeks before unaliving himself, and she laughed about it on public social medias. I don't judge anybody for that type of work because it would literally be me throwing rocks at a glass house. That's not my problem. Oh my god, I want to see that post she made. That's messed up, but that's true. My problem with the whole situation is we were friends. She knew who Justin was. She lied to him from the beginning about not knowing me when I came with receipts and pictures to prove it. My problem is 2 weeks into talking, she asked him to be on a television show. Okay. So it sounds like you purposely seeked him out so you could get on the show. Like, I think she had the idea of getting on the show first and then decided to find a boyfriend after that, instead of letting it happen organically. And I fully believe that since she tried to get on Love Island and applied for Love Island literally 1 month after Justin passed away and after she was done filming for Love during Lockup. So she says, my problem, okay, so she had plotted this all from the beginning. My problem is she sent in a marriage certificate to the jail knowing that it was all just to F with his head and acted like she wanted to be with him, but just did this all for views in the show. Okay, don't tell me that he married her in prison. It sounds like she was just dangling this in his face, but from what Liz is saying, it sounds like she wasn't actually serious about it. And it goes on to say she gave no F's about him. I don't care what she says, how she portrays her character. You can see it. She posted nothing about him on Facebook, and she's very unremorseful about the whole situation. Well, that's the thing. Like I said, I know she's under NDA. She can't spoil her storyline, and saying that Justin passed away is spoiling her storyline. She is still going to get paid from the show. She hasn't been paid from the show yet, but they get paid every Friday when an episode airs that they're on. And if she spills her storyline, she's not going to get paid. And I think usually when they do like appearances and you just have someone on for like a day, like if they probably brought the exes on, I don't think they usually have those type of people sign NDAs. On some shows they do, but it doesn't sound like the exes signed any kind of NDA from how much they've been speaking out. I mean, I'm sure they already got paid because it sounds like they don't have anything to worry about, about trying to hope to get paid in the future. It sounds like they probably got paid and they're on their way and just spilling all the tea and they don't give a damn. But she says she hasn't said anything publicly about him. She just used him as a publicity stunt to get famous. Somebody that actually cares about, she gave no F's about him. So she is very unremorseful about the whole situation. No matter how you want to look at it, she didn't reach out to the family at all. She took his money. She took the relationship down a day after. She probably still has credit cards in his name that she's still using. Okay, why does she have credit cards in his name? Trying to build his credit? Hopefully she's not still using them. But we know that she's had financial issues before because I covered a comment under a podcast that she did in one of my early videos about her, probably a month ago or so I made this video. And this girl was calling out Emily and saying, hey girl, you owe me money. I think she was accusing her taking a car or owing her money for a car. And Emily was like, oh, you're not allowed to discuss trying to get a loan for me on here. And she said that she was filing for bankruptcy. And this was I think a few years ago, or maybe, it was before the show. So I think that was another big motive for her to get into escorting, was because of the quick money, because it sounded like she needed money desperately. But she says that, so she was getting credit cards in his name. So hopefully, she's not spending those. And right after he ended up doing it a day later, she just addressed the situation very quickly on Snapchat and said their whole relationship was for PR views. So that sounds like a very insensitive person. Yes, we did fight. Yes, I did say some hurtful shit on Facebook, but at the end of the day, he hurt me because he put me on this television show and tells me to say all these things and said how much he loved me and how much he wanted me to express this stuff and be there in his corner. And I was, and she had him so brainwashed. Okay, but I feel like we gotta put some responsibility on Justin, though. We can't put it all on Emily on his actions. Yes, I was very upset with his actions he was making because I didn't talk to him every day for the last 6 years of my life to help him through everything for him to spiral out of control this last year. He had to get with a effing hooker to just make him go 8 back to prison. So yes, I was very upset with his choices. She then said she's going to make her own video addressing everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything. But yeah, I don't think that she signed an NDA, because even before the season was out, like, she was like tagging Bunny XO, Jelly Roll's wife, trying to get on her podcast to like spill the beans. Honestly, I'm shocked production hasn't reached out to her. I bet they probably have, because I've heard of people who've been like just side characters and not main characters on the show, and they've had production reach out to them if they said something that they didn't agree with. Like, if they got your phone number and you do something they don't like, usually they're gonna hit you up. But I mean, she's definitely practicing her freedom of speech and letting everything out there. I wonder if Emily's going to start telling more of her side once the season is over, or she's just going to be quiet about it. But I don't know. I'm definitely second guessing her intentions, as she literally got with him wanted to get on the show 2 weeks after getting with him. It definitely sounds like she had a plan when she got with him. But I'm interested to see more how the relationship unfolds on the screen. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching.